Hey, all you gossiping ghouls and goblins. Welcome back to the mausoleum, where we spill the tea on true crime and other miscellaneous macabre. I'm Adam.
And I'm Haley.
And this is Don't You Know? This is a trigger warning. This is an unedited true crime podcast, and we are explicit. Many episodes contain mentions of child abuse, murder, sexual abuse, domestic violence, severe neglect, animal abuse, necrophilia, bestiality, incest, suicides, and other sensitive topics. If you're squeamish, why the fuck are you here? Now, without further ado, this is the episode of Today's Bullshit. It's another episode.
Another episode. That's terrible. Today we are covering the gruesome case of Adam Britton. Now, many of you may recognize that name. And for those who don't, Adam Britton was a famous reptile zoologist, best known for his appearances on National Geographic.
You didn't tell me it was going to get spicy the first 2 sentences in.
Oh, I like a little dash of red pepper.
I'm over here, let's do Hollywood cases. And she's like, well, I'll have to write that down. We had a National Geographic.
Hollywood adjacent. He was also on the Discovery Channel and other networks. He was most noted for his crocodile expertise. But we're not even going to put him in the same category as the amazing Steve Irwin. So,
What of that?
I don't even know where to begin, so I'm just going to dive right in. Adam Britton was born in 1971 in Wakefield, West Yorkshire. During his time in grammar school, he discovered that he had a dark interest in zoology. By his own confession, Adam was sadistically molesting horses by the age of 13. He said that even so young, he realized that what he was going to do was not normal, that it was sick and wrong. So he forced himself to suppress his urges and limit his fucked up fantasies. That's about all we've got on the early years. So let's just stop, have a pause, and reflect on how fucked up that is. Horses are huge.
Now I want to know what life event.
I'm saying.
Because, let me tell you.
What the fuck?
And not in a creepy way. I've been around children. And I can confidently say none of them have ever said anything so fucking crazy to me. Okay, then I used to like to fuck horses when I was 13.
You know, I come from a colorful background, you could say. And even them, even those of the more saturated bloodlines, not that fucking weird.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
but you know
what?
what?
We know a lot of diverse people, that come from a lot of different backgrounds, ranging from any different sort of income, and that one you don't hear a lot.
You don't. You know, it's.
I want to know psychologically. I just want to know
what makes you look at a horse and go,
"I'm gonna tap that."
Oh, behave.
Oh no. Again.
Are you Randy, baby? Like, what the fuck?
And
no.
We are making fun of Adam Britton here because you are the
and any other horse fuckers. There was that guy in Washington, don't get me wrong. They're all fucked up.
Animal. Okay, I'm talking to you specifically at the moment.
Judging. Hard.
No. What makes your ticker talk? Because to me, your ticker shouldn't be talking.
It should not be squawking.
And you're just listening to your talker talk. And you shouldn't.
Get that checked.
You even said it. You knew you should have shoved those.
You suppressed that shit.
You should have pushed it harder down because it sounds like it came out and
lit it on fire.
That's not how we do things around here. When we suppress our feelings, they don't come back out. It's called suppression, honey. Suppression. Learn a definition or so. Okay? Because it seems that we don't know what that means. And I think the diction, you just tip-a-tappity to what? 1971 it says here? Read a fucking dictionary, dumbass. That's not what suppression means. Anyway.
He attended that town hall meeting, and when they said, "Shall we outlaw horse fucking?" he said, "Nay!"
Son of a fucking bitch. Oh my god. I hope. Did he die?
Is this guy dead?
Is he
No,
dead?
I don't think so. No.
Okay. I hope.
Lank. I hope. Sorry. I'll stop interrupting now. Excuse me.
I hope your penis has fallen off due to gangrene. And that you were forced to eat it, and you got gangrene, and you're currently working down a really bad infection that's going to end in your decay. Just from the first couple sentences, in my own humble opinion, that is my own.
You know, we haven't even got to the heinous stuff yet, so I'm glad you feel so strongly.
Maybe edit that out, because I don't want to be arrested.
You don't want to be arrested? Okay, so we're going to edit out the violence.
Because that might be...
That could be misconstrued.
So take that whole thing.
I will. So
just from the you just leave it after you said.
Back from the outtakes. Adam Britton was born in 1917. No, he was born in 1971, Wakefield in West Yorkshire. So we got to all of that right, and then we left in all of the discussion on the horse fucking and how we felt strongly about some things, and we haven't even got to the worst of it yet. So I don't want to keep eating up any time here, but Adam Britton, you're a bastard, and I hope your chicken nuggets are always undercooked. Anyway.
I actually don't, because I don't know if you'll find satisfaction from that.
Anyway. Britton went on to get his PhD in zoology in 1996 and moved on to Australia. There he would meet his future wife, and they would set up a consultancy dealing with crocodiles. Now, the consultancy is a firm that offered their expertise on, a certain subject, this being crocodiles. In addition to selling his advice, Britton worked for the BBC with David Attenborough as well as National Geographic. He also was featured as an expert on shows like Animal Planet and Animal Face-Off. So he's a rather well-known individual. In 2014, his urges came rearing their ugly heads, and he was no longer able to bury his ugly desire. Britton signed up for an account on Gumtree Australia, which is kind of like a Craigslist or like a Facebook marketplace.
Okay.
And correct me if I'm wrong, if anyone's listening from Australia, what?
Down under.
Yeah, if you're listening, what the user interface is like. It's more like Craigslist or Facebook, whichever one. Either way, he would use this service to search for ads, looking for families that needed to rehome their animals due to unfortunate circumstances. It sucks, but it does happen. Like you're having to move, and the house you're going into has a no pet policy, or your finances have simply changed, and you can no longer afford a proper life. Sad cases, it happens. Most people aren't rehoming their beloved pets because they want to. The sick prick took advantage of people at a low time in their life for his own disgusting pleasure. So, hate him.
Disgusting.
Exactly. He would tell the families after he got hold of their animals, he would meet and greet, get their animals, holly jolly, make good mingle. He would tell them that he would take good care of them, the animals, and if they asked for any updates, any pictures, he would send them old pictures and a bunch of lies. He would get the animal and spend a day or two just taking a whole bunch of happy pictures of the dog getting treats and playing outside and having a holly good, jolly time, and use those to placate the families that they got him. He got them from until he eventually would ghost them. He would say that all of the animals that he got were thriving on the large property that he had bought just for this purpose. And I didn't see anything about him using aliases for his Gumtree accounts, but I am assuming that he was adopting pets under a different name. It wasn't the Adam Britton coming for your collie.
Right.
But again, can't confirm. Maybe he was the Adam Britton coming for your Chihuahua. I don't know. Either way,
for your Chihuahua? Oh my goodness!
I don't know.
I wasn't ready for that.
Can you imagine if you have...
That in there.
I mean, if you're going after a chihuahua, you have to have some spirit, right? Because those little fucking ankle biters will come at you. So pick out someone your own size, Britton. They never do. I'm like, you good? You need some water?
Oh, fuck! I wasn't ready. It just got funnier. You go fucking ankle biters. Oh my god, that's
Let me get that
disgusting.
Achilles heel.
Uh,
I don't know. Can you imagine like being an animal lover and just wanting to find a good home for your little Fido, and it turns out you gave it to a fucking monster, like you fed it to the boogeyman. You didn't even know, but like you're just like, here's a treat, you fucking piece of shit.
It's so bad that I can't. Like,
It's hard to comprehend because you look at animals and you're like, oh, you're so cute. Like I want to hug you to death. Like I want to squeeze the life out of you with all of my affection, but you don't.
my old man. I have an old man cat, and that little baby is just the light of my life. How can you look at animals and hurt them at all? They're just little precious beings. Even the ones that are not.
They're so vulnerable. It's like
ugh, I love them so much.
it has to be
so
a power
bad.
thing. I don't know. This is terrible.
Okay.
To be perfectly
My
clear,
body's
but you
like,
know,
I can't cry, so laugh, and it's not funny, and it makes no sense.
it's not funny. It's excuse me. It's not funny.
It's not funny,
It's
but
not-
my body won't let me.
I need to let out the cortisol somehow, and I'm either gonna pick my face to shreds or I'm gonna make fucking jokes because this fucking micro dick having motherfucker. Not that having a micro dick is bad. Like if you got a micro dick, be proud. You know, get your fucking strap on game happening. But this bitch, what? Bitch, all it takes is some fingers if you know what you're doing. Like lesbians know what's up. This guy doesn't know what's up though. So like,
Let's get back on.
I don't know. He could have afforded some fucking therapy.
Back on to the story.
He had so many millions of dollars. He could have been like, dear diary, today instead of fucking acting it out, but instead of loving these beautiful creatures.
What happened to putting a fleshlight in a stuffed animal?
I don't know, man. Get a couple of fucking sponges and some goddamn Astro Lube and just have yourself a good jolly goddamn time. I don't know. Get a fucking puppy calendar and go to town. Don't actually do it, though.
Go to the dog park and then go home like a normal fucking person would. Don't touch yourself at the dog park. Don't look at the dogs weird. Just sit there and be like, that's a nice dog.
Don't buy a property and then put a shipping container on it and then...
Don't do that.
You know. Oh, I suppose I was going to add a extra trigger warning for gruesome stuff, but I guess, I mean, yeah, we're getting into it. If you're squeamish, you're going to want to skip ahead a couple of minutes, but if you're squeamish...
Why the fuck are you here? It's in the intro. Why the fuck are you here?
Don't go on if you're going to puke, because it's going to be...
You know what's also in the intro? The trigger warning.
It is. But I like to be kind. You know, I love you. I love you. It's sick, and I don't blame you for not wanting to hear it.
And you're still here after, like,
all
as of right now, 13 minutes, but I'm sure it's been condensed down.
Maybe. I don't know. I'll leave it all in, except for that violent shit from earlier. # legal. So, this sick son of a bitch, right? And we're talking about someone who should be barbecued on the fiery brimstone of hell. If it were real. Alright, so we were at Britton would bring these animals to a loving home on his large property, and that's not what he meant to do. So, where we were getting into. Instead of loving these beautiful creatures, Britton would tape their muzzles closed, like they were one of his crocs, so that they couldn't make noises as he raped and tortured them. Over the course of 8 years, this piece of shit would abduct, you know, not technically, but considering he procured his victims under false pretenses and lies, I'll say it's kidnapping at that point. Sue me. He would do this to 42 dogs 39 of which would perish due to their injuries. And he would even molest his own dogs, though he did not torture them to the same degree. Not only was this depraved individual torturing animals for his own sick fun in a specially constructed torture room that he built out of a shipping container, he was also filming it for others to enjoy. So, Britton was very careful to conceal his identity in these videos, not leaving very many clues that would lead back to him, as he didn't want the fuzz to get on his trail. Anyway, he didn't want the fuzz to ruin his fun, so he was careful. He even started a little side hustle consultancy advising would-be snuffers on how to be like him and get away with murder. He shared his depravity in dark web communities under different pseudonyms, and he would have gotten away with it too if it weren't for this meddling anonymous pip. What would be his last video, Britton filmed himself raping and torturing the mother dog and her 7 puppies. However, by the grace of whatever god you subscribe to, he forgot to remove her collar, which had a City of Darwin with the slogan, "A great pet starts with you," written on the collar. This was seen by an anonymous person and forwarded to the NT, or Northern Territory Welfare Branch, who then referred the matter to the police. About a month after Britton posted the video on April 22nd, 2002, NT police and Australian...
Nope. You said 2002?
Oh, did I? After about a month, Britton posted... About a month after Britton posted the video, on April 22nd, 2022, NT police and Australian Federal Police raided his McMinn's Lagoon home in Darwin's rural area. And let me just say, fucking bravo to...
Flaps.
Props to the detective work from collar to collar that found this disgusting fuck and took him in. In the raid, they seized computers, mobile phones, cameras, external hard drives, tools, weapons, dog paraphernalia, and sex toys. Let's do a little hopscotch here, skip. They even found severed dog limbs in the freezer, a puppy decomposing in the pond on the property, and a severed dog head on a neighboring property that he had just swung like that fucking ball or disc or whatever they do in the Olympics. I don't remember. He's trash. He disposed a lot of these remains by feeding them to the crocs that were in the nearby swamps or just throwing them out into the wild. He was immediately arrested and held. He was immediately arrested and held in jail while the case was brought against him. Sifting through the evidence, the team would find his animal snuff videos and 15 additional files of child sexual abuse material that he had both sent and received. However, it was not produced by him. I can't fathom that he would have any boundaries as to what he...
If you're looking at it, you're contributing to it.
Oh, yeah, just because you're not producing it doesn't mean that you're not fucking...
Rocky, bully.
Following is some of the messages that Britton uncovered... Following is some of the messages of Britton that were uncovered during the investigation and transcripts of what he said to the court. He would call the animals his fuck toys. He repressed his sick urges for many years but could no longer do so and didn't want to. He claimed that, and I quote, "I was sadistic as a child to animals, but I had repressed it. In the last few years, I let it out again, and now I can't stop. I don't want to," which he ended with a smiley face emoji. This he wrote in one message tendered to the court. So this wasn't to another sick individual. It is what he said to the court. He said, "My own dogs are family, and I have limits," he explained in a telegram chat entered into evidence. "I only badly mistreat other dogs. I have no emotional bond to them. They are toys, pure and simple. And there are plenty more where they came from." All of this is coming from a man that locals told the media was quiet and seemed to have a passion for defending animals. It's never the ones you suspect, and oddly enough, it is often the ones who are most outspoken about their causes that tend to be the ones villainized. Or not villainized, but perpetrating. He was charged with 37 counts of animal cruelty, 10 counts of raping or attempting to rape a dog, and 4 counts of possessing or transmitting child abuse material. Monday, the 25th of September in 2023, the zoologist and CDU academic scholar pled guilty in the Darwin Supreme Court. Chief Justice Michael Grant warned the gallery of the facts of the offending details, which, quote, acts that could be only described as grotesque cruelty, which are both confronting and distressing. He said, which in my assessment have the potential to cause nervous shock or some other adverse psychological reaction to a person exposed to these details. In a rare occurrence, the Chief Justice also excused the security officers and sheriffs from the courtroom while the facts were put on the record, addressing the zoologist directly. One activist told Britton he was right where he should be, locked up. One respected and esteemed scholar now said, you are a disgrace to the scientific community. Natalie Carey. No one will ever look at you with admiration again. Britton was sentenced to 10 years and 5 months with 24 months already served as of July 2023.
That's it?
Yeah,
Not
nearly enough.
I don't like that.
No, because he'll be eligible for parole in 3 years, in 2028. And he's been banned from owning any animals. Or not any animals, excuse me, any mammals. So he can't have any mammals. But, it was illegal before, so what's stopping him after the fact? Either way, I think while he's in prison, he should be given a monthly shipment of Flint, Michigan water and some Nutriloaf to sustain him. Maybe a bottle of sunscreen for Christmas while he sits out on a forgotten beach. Anyway, that's all she wrote, folks. I don't want to talk about this anymore. Kind of wish I hadn't, but
fucking disgusting. Leave the animals alone. What they do to you?
Leave the animals and kids alone. Leave everybody alone. Honestly, just live and let live. Like, fuck off.
God,
there's no reason. I don't know. We're gonna end this episode with a little bit of a palate cleanser since we left Dakota Collins hanging.
Yeah.
Because it was, it seemed more appropriate. But on this one, I wanted to highlight, and forgive my butcher of this pronunciation, Mohammed Zeke, who I want to nominate for World's Best Father for Infinity.
Tell me how.
He was born in Libya, and he moved to LA sometime about the 1980s and began working as an electrical engineer. He married his wife, Dawn, and they began fostering terminally ill children in 1989. They experienced their first death of their daughter in 1991, which is when they decided to exclusively foster children that were otherwise unwanted due to the amount of care and tragedy that came in their baggage. I'm going to say angels, both of them. Can't really dispute that. The Zeeks worked closely with the LA County Department of Children and Family Services, who would call them anytime there was a child in need. Together they fostered many children and only had one biological son, who was born with brittle bone disease and dwarfism. Unfortunately, in 2014, Dawn was taken by cancer. Though Muhammad was grieved, he did not stop taking children in need. This man was met with tragedy, and he just exuded love into the world.
Absolutely.
Wonderful, beautiful. He's still out there fostering babies that need love and extra care. He says that he knows they are going to die, but he loves them anyway and does his best as a human and leaves the rest up to God. So my heart is melting faster than the poles because he has a bright, shiny, beautiful soul.
Shout out to Muhammad.
His most recent daughter has a brain disease that leaves her blind, deaf, and paralyzed in her limbs. And the only way that they communicate is by touch, so he just holds her. Just lets her know that someone is there to comfort her. This man has battled cancer, lost his wife, taken care of disabled children for most of his adult life. He and his wife would love each child to the fullest, taking family photos, meeting their needs, and just giving them the best life that they could offer. And this world was blessed by their presence. Don't you know?
Shout out to Mohammed.
and his wife, Dawn.
Who?
Yeah, so... And that, my pretties, is all we have for you today. If you liked that episode, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Word of mouth is the best advertising, and we truly appreciate the solid. If you'd like to view our resources or leave us any comments on our research and write-ups, visit don'tyouknowpod.com and visit our socials. From Facebook to Mastodon, everything is at don'tyouknowpod. Links in the show notes. Thanks for joining us, and don't forget to lock your doors.